So tell me, can you give us, what was the backstory behind that incident? Can you take us through that?
Justin's.
Yes. And Justin's, he's referring to the restaurant, one of Diddy's first restaurants, Justin's downtown in Manhattan, and that was named after his son Justin, by the way.
No,
So,
now this one, this Justin's wasn't the Justin's in Manhattan. This
so it
was the
was.
Justin's here in Atlanta on Peachtree Street.
Oh, correction, you guys. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
so this was
I didn't
Justin's.
know there was one in Georgia. I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, there was a Justin's
Oh,
on
I
Peachtree
went to that
Street.
one. Yes, I remember I visited Justin's in Manhattan for my birthday, my 21st birthday, and that's when I
Right.
saw Heavy D. I saw Missy Elliott sitting beside me with Magoo. So yeah, I didn't know there was one in Georgia, but I'm sorry. Go
Yep,
ahead.
there was one in Georgia. This incident happened in 2005. It was there probably a few years before this incident happened. But just to give you some backstory, one day we was at the mansion, Uncle B and Auntie Whitney's mansion. We chilling. And Uncle B was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get away for a few days." So he was like, "Pack the studio up. We about to go." So we packed the studio up, and we left the mansion, and we all went and checked into the Ritz Carlton right there. You know the Ritz Carlton downtown.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So we went right there. We checked into the Ritz Carlton. We got like 5 or 6 rooms there. We were staying there for a few nights. Recording music there. Had a meeting with Warner Brothers there. But this particular day, when I got cut, it was around Pop's birthday. So some family had came to uh, the hotel. Some family had came to the Ritz, and they was like, "Yo, let's take Pop out to Justin's for his birthday." At that time, we had just had a meeting with the night before with Dino. He was the A&R Warner Brothers at that time, and he was trying to sign the Brown Bombers to Warner Brothers over
Okay,
there. So we had
okay.
a meeting the night I got cut. We had a meeting with Dino at 9 o'clock at the Ritz. So I
Mm,
wasn't even trying to go to Justin's. I'm telling them like, man, I'm not going to. We got a meeting with Warner Brothers, man. So my cousin Mita, y'all probably know her from the Houston's on Our Own reality show. Mimi, she was on there. She used to be with Chrissy. She had went and told Uncle B that I wasn't going. So she had came back to me and relayed a message to me from Uncle B. I'll never forget. I was in my hotel room smoking, and she came banging on my door, and she was like, "Uncle B said, to get dressed, he needs you to go to Justin's. That Warner Brothers can wait. They're gonna wait on us to get back." So I'm mad now. I'm like, man,
wow.
I'm mad, but I'm riding with the family, so I go. Even though I'm mad, I'm going though. I'm mad. I mean, I'm glad now that I was mad, that I was in that state of mind. You understand me? Because when I got there,
Your adrenaline was up.
no, no, for this reason here, back then I was the life of the party. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We go somewhere, we out, shit. Shayne gonna drink. I'm gonna have a good ass time. This particular night, man, I was already mad because I didn't want to go, but it was just something. God, man, was just like, don't have no drink. I didn't have
Mm,
not one drink. If I would have had one drink
okay.
that night, I would not even be sitting here with you on this
Mm,
podcast or even be holding my beautiful daughter right now. If I would have had one drink that night,
wow.
and man, it's just deep. I didn't have no drink, man, and I just remember we was in the club and Kim Porter used to do something on Sunday nights at Justin's. It was called it was some type of event that she would throw. I forget it. It just lost train of thought. But it was an event that Kim Porter, rest in peace. This was Puffy's baby mother, Kim Porter. She would throw something here every Sunday night at this Justin's. So we was in there and Kim Porter sat us down. She was showing us love. Uncle B got on stage and performed and was kicking it. And when Uncle B got off stage, we migrated to the other side of the stage, other side of the club. The rapper Fabulous walked in with a few people. I just remember one dude bumped into me. No reason for him to bump into me. There was plenty of space. I
Mm,
let it go. Next
mm.
dude bump into me. Now I gotta say something. So I look. I'm like, damn nigga, y'all can't say excuse me. because there was no reason. I'm the only person over here.
Oh boy.
So it was like it was a setup. So either or, he looked at me and was like, "What? You know, we unalive
Mm,
people like you." And I
mm,
looked at him like, "Nigga, whatever," and did like that. So my cousin Mita is right here in my face. All this took place, and literally it happened so damn quick. After he said what he said, I looked at him and said what I said. It was like 2 seconds later, I hear my cousin Kelsey, which is Leola's son. I hear him from across the club. I hear him scream. "Ah!" I went to turn to look to see what was going on with him, to move in his direction. And as soon as I turned like this, I just felt the wrath of man. I thought somebody had hit me upside the head with a Moet bottle. Um, man, when I turned like that, somebody just came down on me. And
ooh,
from
what?
there, it was like I black, from there, thank God I never hit the ground or nothing. I stayed coherent. I was going
Right.
in and out though. I'm going in and out. I'm seeing
Right.
black.
Because I mean, yeah, because you was caught off guard. I mean, it was just
Yeah, so I'm going in and out. It's going from 1 minute I'm seeing black, then I'll come back to and I'm seeing people running and ducking and screaming and trying to get out the club. It was chaos. And I'm
mm,
standing there so bloody. People was looking
mm,
at me like, damn, he died, he dead. And I just remember my Uncle B looked at me and was like, what the fuck is going on? And he tried to jump behind the bar and get some towels. They like, give me some fucking towels for my nephew. And they was refusing to give it to him. Like, man, hell nah, y'all get out of here. So Uncle B took off his shirt. I'll never forget. He had like a shirt like
mm.
this, a collar shirt, but it was orange. And shit, he took it off, man. And he was, he's screaming, he going crazy in there. He like, my
Right.
nephew about to die. He's like, call the ambulance. So he wrapping me up. I look at him. I said, yo, real calm. I said, don't call the ambulance. I ain't gonna be able to make it if the ambulance get here. The hospital is right there. Drive me there. I swear to
Wow.
God.
Wow.
And shit. He grabbed me. He grabbed me. Shout out to my bro Shorty. They both grabbed me, man. And
It took you.
they had the truck sitting outside. They threw me in the back of the truck. Piedmont was like literally a block or 2 blocks from Justin's right there. So they drove me right up there to Piedmont. When I got to Piedmont, I was so bloody. I walked in there. They said, "Sir, there's nothing we can do for you. This is not a." They looked at me like they seen a ghost. They was
Whoa.
like, "Sir," they was trying to run me out of there. Like, we can't do nothing for him. This ain't no trauma unit. Y'all got to take him Y'all got to take him to Grady. And my family went off. It was like a scene. What was that movie where they went off?
Right. You're
And
not supposed to turn away a patient.
right, what's that movie? It was like whatever that movie was, Boys in the Hood. Whatever the movie was, where they went off on the people in the hospital. My family was like, "What? I mean, if y'all don't get my goddamn nephew right, there's gonna be a problem in here." Let me tell you how good God is, man. There's not a trauma hospital. At the time that they try to turn me around and walk me out this door, God sent a trauma doctor walking
What?
through the door.
What?
I
What?
swear, man, I can't make this up. God sent a trauma doctor to walk through that door right then and there.
Wow.
That man seen me, man. Dr. Barnett, man.
That is crazy.
Shout out to him.
That is crazy.
That man seen me, and he said, "Oh my God." He went and grabbed this little blue chair. I'll never forget. He was in there going crazy because mind you, my cut was from here all the way here. It goes all the way down to the bottom of my chest.
Mm.
My face was wide open. You could have literally stuck your fist in my
Oh my
face.
God. Oh my
So
God.
just imagine the reaction that I'm getting from these people. This doctor, now I'm in here. I'm getting weak now. And the doctor put me in that blue chair, and I told him, I said, "Doc, I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep, man." He said, "Nah, please don't go to sleep.
Had
Because
to
if
go
you
to
go to
sleep.
sleep,
Yeah, to go to
he said,
sleep.
if you
Yeah.
go to sleep, you're gonna die." He said, "Please." He said, "I'm about to ask you a couple questions, man." He said, "What's your name?" I said, "Shayne Brown." He said, "How old are you?" I told him my age. He said, "Where you from?" Told him where I'm from. In the process of all this man I'm in the surgery room. They cutting my clothes up and connecting me to wires and shit, right?
Ooh.
So the last question he asked me, he said, "Where you from?" I said, "Boston." He said, "Go to sleep." At that point, now he asked me all my
Mhm.
questions.
Right,
Now he got me
right.
hooked up to
Yeah,
everything. Now
step
he
you
said,
up.
"Okay, you good
Yeah.
now. Go to sleep."
Oh.
I just remember, man, when that man said go to sleep, I was laying back on that bed, and the door was like right in front of my eyes, and I seen some family members standing out there, and they looking like crying, like basically saying they last goodbyes to me, basically type shit.
Mm.
And man, I just went to sleep. Woke up, woke up. I don't know how many days this was later, but I just remember I woke up in ICU red one day, and God rest my stepfather's soul. He was sitting on the side of me, and I'm laying back on the bed, and there was a TV in front of me, and me and my cousin, I just so happened to come to, and me and my cousin flashed on that TV screen, and I got tubes all down my throat. I started gagging. I'm starting trying to pull the tubes out. I'm going crazy in there now. My
Mm.
my stepfather, God rest his soul, pressed the button. They came in there, and I was back out, man.
Yeah, 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 because he had to sedate you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was back out. When I woke up again, it was weeks later, and I made it out of ICU red, and they took me to the fifth floor. And man, it was a
Yeah.
crazy experience to be so young, man.
I tell you, so I mean, and that was a lot. I really thank you so much for sharing that with me,
Oh
and
yeah,
to understand this is a teachable moment for all of us to understand how God's mercy, it trumps everything.
oh yeah,
It trumps everything. The fact that they wanted to turn you away, you're bleeding to death, and they turn you away. It doesn't matter what type of hospital it is; they're not supposed to
right.
turn you. So the fact that
Yeah.
that doctor came in at that time,
God had his
it's
hands in
just
it the
and
whole
of
time.
course, I mean, nothing but God, nothing but God.
Right.
So I am thank God that you recovered. I'm glad that you're still here with us. But I also want to ask you, Shane, because I know it's plenty of teachable
So I want
moments
to
you can
say that
share.
my bad, not
Okay,
to cut you off, but I want to
okay.
say this because I made a reference earlier about my aunt Whitney
Hmm.
when I said that she was the light in my darkest days.
Oh, okay, okay.
Those was the darkest days for me. And I remember being in, when I made it up out of ICU and I came to that fifth floor, my face, I was wrapped up going this way.
Mm,
White gauze wrapped up like a mummy.
mm.
My face looked like two goddamn watermelons. And I made it up to that fifth floor. When I was in that fifth floor,
Okay.
you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
You there with me?
Mm, mm. Yeah, so he'll be back. Yeah, so I mean, but until he comes back, I mean, I just want the audience to understand the true presence of God, and how he was able to recover um from that traumatic event. So I'm finished. You was talking about
My
um
bad. Somebody called my damn phone. But I said that obviously Whitney
mhm.
was the light in my darkest days, man. At the time of me going through everything that I just said that I went through, my mother was in prison doing like a 3, 4 year sentence.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. So
Um,
she wasn't even she couldn't even be president at the time.
I'm sorry.
So she wasn't president at the time.
My mom was in prison at this time. She was doing like
Mhm.
a 3, 4 year sentence. And all I had, man, I had my family, but
Mhm.
Auntie Whitney and my Aunt Lily stepped up like my mothers. Although people see me with the fallout with Auntie Lily always was like a mother figure to me growing up. But I just remember, man, I came to that fifth floor and I'm wrapped up, and the doctors was in there. Every doctor who ever seen me or touched me or put their hands on me was in this room with my family, and everybody was just in there crying. The doctors was like, "Man, we didn't even think you was gonna make it," because they was trying to force my family to pull the plug. It's only
Mm.
due to the grace of God that I'm here because my grandmother refused to pull the plug. They told my grandmother I wasn't gonna make it.
Mm.
My grandmother was like, "I'm not pulling the plug on my nephew. Just let him stay on there. He'll get back. He'll get right." And
Mm.
she refused to pull that plug. But I remember, man, when they brought me up to that fifth floor, and the doctor was like, "Well, we're gonna show you your what you look like." And he put that mirror in front of me. Mind you, I never seen him. You know, I ain't know what I look like.
You know,
I
right,
went
right.
I went slapped the fuck crazy. Excuse me. And
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, and
Mm.
Auntie Whitney was just like, she was just like, nah, because I'm like, man, shit, I could have, man, I would have been better off dead, man, with this big ass scar on my damn face, man. I'm not, I'm just talking crazy. And Auntie Whitney, she's like, no, don't ever speak like that. God got a
Right.
purpose on your life, and
Yeah,
she
she's
starts
right.
speaking, and there was a doctor in there, and he did plastic surgery.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. You guys, so yeah, reconstructive
I had
surgery.
reconstructive surgery on my
They did a
face.
damn good job.
Yeah, they took the nerve out of my ear because my nerve was severed in three different places in my face. So
Mm.
they took the nerve out of my earlobe to try to connect it back in my face for me to get a little function on my left side. If you watch me closely, you see that my left side barely got it's just
Right.
functioning a
Just
little bit, not like my right. But yeah, so I went through crazy surgeries, man. I went through hell. But they took the earlobe out my ear, reconnected it in my face, tried to give me a little movement over there. But Auntie Whitney was just like, I'm like, man, I could have just died, man. I ain't trying to live like this for the rest of my life. Whoopie whoop. And the doctor was in there. And Auntie Whitney, she just speaking at God into me like, nephew, you got a purpose. And she just looked at the doctor and was like, yo, give my nephew plastic surgery. She said, I want you to make that cut on his face as
disappear.
small as a
Mhm,
pencil line. I wanted
mhm,
like a pencil. I wanted like a fine pencil line on his face.
mm.
And she said, don't worry about the money. Whatever it is, I got it. And it was shit. It was like, all right, we got you. And shit.
There
Not
you
too
have
long
it.
after that, I went in for plastic surgery. You know what I'm saying? And I went and had my plastic surgery done. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, shout out to your Auntie Whitney. God is
That's
amazing. He's in control. He's the center of everything. And I'm really, like I said, I'm really glad that you are here with us. And wanted to because I'm going to say that there were so many teachable moments you could take from that. So what was your main teachable moment out of everything that you just described and from that traumatic experience? What was the teachable moment that you left that you still carry on from that?
man, there was so many lessons learned,
But was most like one of the main ones?
from that. One of the main things that I just watch how I move now, watch how I move. I could have handled it in a different way. Um, but mainly just watching how I move, man. I don't put myself around certain environments, certain people, places, and things, man. Man, it was just one of them situations. It was
I
crazy,
mean,
but definitely just like life, man, is something that life is
take it for
precious,
granted.
man. And once it's
Mhm.
gone, man, it's gone. Ain't no coming back, man, and you can take it for granted. So, man, I just learned, man, I'm just live every day to
Yeah,
the fullest, man. Just be happy. Just be the best person that you can be. Treat people how you want to be treated. I think sometimes, man, if I would have never just said nothing and just let it be, I would. It probably wouldn't have went the way it did. But you live and you learn.
yeah. Because I mean, you have your ego, Shane. I mean, you're a man. You're a man, young man at that very young at that time, and your ego was just bruised. Your manhood was tested. So, you know, that's something that we kind of understand your reaction to it. But I'm glad that you was able to understand the consequences, understand how it's important to be proactive and not reactive all the time. Just
Oh
pick your
yeah,
battles, choose your battles wisely. All
yeah,
right. So moving on from that dark from that dark space, you had a light at the end of the tunnel because you became a father. You said a year after.
yep.
Mm.
That happened to me in May of 2025, and I
No,
had my first child.
you speak 2005.
I'm sorry.
You said 2025. I knew
I'm
you.
sorry. No, that happened to me May 2005.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then I had my first child December of 2006.
Okay, and what is his name?
Shane.
He's a junior?
He's not a junior. He got a
Oh,
different middle name, but Shane.
middle name, okay. And so when Shane came along, what was that time like for you when you, from transitioning from, the traumatic experience and then, like I said, having Shane being a light at the end of your tunnel, what space were you in at that time?
When I had my son,
Mhm.
oh man, that was like the happiest time of my life for real. When I had my son, obviously I was still, touring with Uncle B. When I got out the hospital, I ended up meeting somebody. We started kicking it. She got pregnant, obviously, and I had my baby. But that was just like the high. That was like the highlight of my life. Then, I mean, it gave me purpose to want to even
Move forward in a
move
different
forward and
direction.
keep going. You know what I'm saying? It was like me starting all over again. I just went through one of the worst times of my life, and now I'm actually living and breathing and seeing me bring another child into the life. I mean, another child into the world.
Right.
It was just a moment for me.
Yes, a moment, and it's like everything happened is in divine timing. And so, with you becoming a father, were you still on the road at the time? Like, how were you managing, family life and raising a child at that time? Were you still on the road with your family, and how how'd you balance that?
Yeah, I had my son. So I had my son 2006, 2000 late December 2006. Yeah, I'm still with Uncle B. I'm still doing my thing, but now it's like 2007. Things was rocky. That's when Uncle B and Auntie Whitney, was going through that's when they officially split up, and I believe that was '07. Uncle B ended up leaving. Auntie Whitney was already she left before she left Uncle B in the mansion. She left before,
Mhm, mhm.
and then we was in the mansion. I had my house, my family house, but I was still there with Uncle B every day. You feel me? Going through it, trying to figure it out. And Uncle B left, went to LA. My whole family left and moved to LA, and they wanted me to move, but now I got a baby. I can't go
Right.
nowhere. I'm
Yeah,
trying
you
to raise my
can't
son.
uproot. Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point there, when I had my son, everybody else was still, everybody else, they left with Uncle B, went to LA. Uncle B wanted everybody to go out there. I just refused. I had my baby, so I stayed back, raised my kids, try to do the right thing, family life.
Right, right.
Had another baby. My son was born December 2006, and I had my daughter was born October 2007. So I had both of them
Back
back
to
to
back.
back.
Mhm.
Man, I just was doing my family thing, but at that same time, I'm still young. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yes,
s- I'm
yes.
still dibbling
Figure it
dabbling,
out. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, man. I just hindsight 2020, looking back, man. When I went through what I went through as far as getting cut intestines, I just wish that I had people around
Right.
who was like,
Who steered you in a different direction. That's why I
yeah,
asked you
like, man,
before,
go get you
somebody.
some help. Like,
Yeah,
'cause at
yeah.
that time I needed therapy, I needed all type of shit.
Mm, mhm, mhm.
But I just kept living life, and shit, I just kept living life, and
Did you get it eventually? Did you get that type of, help, therapy or mental health? Did you get that eventually at some point?
ah man, not then. It took me. I did a few years ago.
Okay. Well, you
You
did it.
know,
You
yeah,
got through it. You got through
yeah,
that.
a few years ago I did. Back at that time, nah, though. But that's when I needed it. But no, I didn't. I was just out here trying to do the right thing. I'm with my kid's mother. I'm trying to do the right thing, but I'm still a dog. I'm still, I still grew up. I'm still
It's about that life.
used to what I know.
Mhm, mhm.
At that time, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. At that time, I'm a young guy. My whole vision on things like that was like, as long as I take care of the household, don't worry about what I
What?
got
Yeah,
going on
right. Don't ask any questions. Don't say, yeah,
outside of
yeah,
the
yeah.
house. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And me as a grown man now, it was just like my mindset was all wrong. You feel me? So I broke a lot of hearts and did people wrong along the way. And but you live and you learn.
Right. And the fact that you are, but I commend you for holding yourself accountable.
Oh yeah,
For
oh yeah,
for those times that you've, hurt people, and we all have experienced that. Either you've hurt people, and people hurt you, and you go through that journey. So right now you say you focus on being a family man. You living your life. Your children, raising your children, and you said that you're not the disciplinarian. So you're saying that you're more carefree. You're more. So what are some of the tools based on what you learned in your life and the guidance the lack of guidance that you had, how does that project onto your children, or how do you approach raising your children, and what the type of things you instill in them? How do you approach that with your
all right,
children?
let me say this because a lot of people will say, well, you ain't a disciplinarian. What you don't.
But,
When I say that, I mean like
you balance
I'm
it, you
not
kind of, yeah, yeah.
I'm not hard on my kids. I'm
Right,
really I'm
right.
really soft for real. I'm a Pisces, and I'm a soft hearted person. And my kids is my babies. And I told you my upbringing, how I was raised, how I didn't have a childhood. So I protect my babies, and like I want my babies to be able to be vocal on how they feel and tell me how
Right,
I want my babies to be
right.
able to express things to me.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm not when I say a discipline, it's not like I'm just gonna let my kids go and run the streets and do
Right,
something
right.
wrong, and then they come home and I'm not gonna say nothing. It's just that I let my kids be kids. My babies is babies, man.
Because you can't
I just
shield
was
them from
never.
everything.
Let me say this:
Yeah.
I've never whipped one of my children. None of my children ever been whipped by me. None of my kids, because that's just never been me. I don't. I just was never that. You know what I'm saying? But I just give my kids a look, and they just knew.
Mm.
They just
That's
knew to
how
get
it is.
right.
When it comes to a father, it's totally different. There's a totally different reaction when it comes to, when the fathers, that's all you got to do is have that look, or in that deep voice, it's that tone of
Yeah.
voice that
But
just
but
yeah.
now though it's crazy now though. Fatherhood is crazy, but I love it, man. Now though I'm learning to try to be more of a disciplinarian now because of my youngest son Mecca. He give me a run for my money. You hear me?
Aw.
So now I be trying, I'm working on that. I be having to be hard on him now, and it be hurting me
Yeah,
more
I
than it hurt
know.
him
Yeah, I
probably.
know. I know.
Cause
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
damn, I don't want to be hard on y'all, but I gotta do it, I gotta get him right before he get older and the
Yes,
streets
yes.
get him. So but it's
Yeah,
just a balance, like you said, it's a balance.
yeah, I totally get it. I know it's hard, because it's like, I love you, but it's gonna pay me, but you don't want to suffer consequences out there in those streets. I'd rather you kind of learn. It starts at home.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
starts
yeah,
at home.
yeah.
Because like I said before, you can't be their friend. I mean, you could guide them, and of course you want them to be comfortable around you. You want to be comfortable being their true selves, and being able to. You want to give them a safe space, but at the same time, not have a friendship. It's not a friendship. It's a
Right, right.
parent
Like
child.
like you said, it's that fine line, it's that balance. You just gotta find that
Mhm.
balance.
Yeah, absolutely.